honestly, I didn't understand a word. So I was here in Moscow for some time. I'll show you in a moment. But still, I don't speak Russian. I apologize for that. So you see, Konstantin, Konstantin and I, we sat together in a long Skype session on Saturday and tried to prepare for that translation. And I'm very glad to see you here. You are the project managers that make things happen. And there are only about 66 million of us on the world. So if you see 7 billion people and only 66 million project managers, so we are a rare species. But nevertheless, 1/3 of the whole money that flows around in the world is managed by us. So we have an influence. Today, you are here to hear about digitization and project management and how it relates. And it's not my role to talk about that. You will hear excellent speakers, Agnieszka from Poland. Yeah. And others, what digitization means in Agile and MVPs and all the things. But I'll give you 2 or 3 hints from my personal view. But I'm here as a member of the board of PMI to congratulate you as a chapter for your 20th birthday.
Thomas здесь как член PMI, как член Совета управления и выступает главой.
And I'll share a little bit how I became a board member. You know, we have only 15 board members in the world. We are a global board. So maybe 1 or 2 of you, although at one point of time in your career, want to be in that position.
Томас расскажет, как он стал членом управления, всего по 15 во всем мире.
It can be done.
Можно стать так членом управления.
So maybe you think about, after my presentation, about after the day today, what you want to change in your life. Maybe you take a new opportunity, you learn something new. Maybe you take a new job offering. Maybe you change the company. So, but do something about your life.
Может, после сегодняшнего дня вы поймете, что вы хотите изменить, что вы можете сделать в своей жизни, в своей работе.
Because we as PMs, you know, we as project managers, we make change happen and innovation happen, digitization happen. Without us, it will not be there. So, and we do that by leading others, by helping others to make the things. We cannot do everything by ourselves. We need experts and we need all the knowledge workers around there. So, by leading others, we make it happen.
Потому что именно мы, project managers, делаем изменения в мире, делаем так, чтобы вещи происходили, управляем сотрудниками, которые работают с помощью знаний.
And how do we lead? We lead by setting the culture. We lead by setting the behaviors and the values. And we help the people to understand how to work together and how to create a synergy for the benefit of our customer, of our beneficiaries we are developing the project for.
И как мы управляем с помощью изменения культуры, выстраиваем определенное поведение.
So that's why you are important as project managers. And if you develop yourself and if you have a self-esteem, then you can really change it. You are changing the world. Not you can, you are doing change to the world.
Поэтому именно вы, как project manager, важно, что вы это делаете через уверенность в себе и изменения.
This is my 23rd visit to Moscow, and I'm really happy to be here. My first visit was in 2005. I was invited by the PMI chapter Moscow to speak together with somebody else, and we had such a translation too at this time.
Это 23-й визит Томаса в Москву. Он первый раз был в
2005.
Первый раз он был в 2005 году, раз снова здесь.
And as I worked for IBM, I also had a project in Moscow. IBM had a project with a company of Panasonic, and they have a headquarter here in Moscow, and we did an SAP rollout. So I was here for 1.5 years almost every week.
Потому что я работал на IBM, у него были проекты с Panasonic, в Москве, и он в течение очень часто был здесь почти каждую неделю.
So that's why I'm here. And I have to apologize again for not speaking enough Russian language to have a presentation here. So when I was invited in 2005, I was the chapter president of the PMI Frankfurt chapter. The PMI Frankfurt chapter is a second chapter outside North America. The first was South Africa.
До этого Томас был президентом в чаптере во Франкфурте. Чаптер во Франкфурте это один из первых чаптеров в мире, второй чаптер после чаптера в Южной Америке.
And the Frankfurt chapter was created in 1988, so 10 years before the Moscow chapter. So we are celebrating the 30th anniversary this year.
В Москве мы празднуем в этом году 20-летие, во Франкфурте мы празднуем 30-летие в этом году.
And talk about anniversaries, PMI itself is celebrating 50th anniversary next year.
И надо вспомнить, что PMI, как организатор, в следующем году будет праздновать 50-летие.
Talk about PMI. So on the PMI board last year, we decided to change the way how PMI works and what PMI wants to do. And we established this winning aspiration, as we call it. It's our new vision. So we want to empower people to make ideas a reality.
И вот PMI в прошлом году изменил стратегию и сформулировал следующее стремление, что PMI дает силу людям для того, чтобы сделать идеи реальностью. Это стремление PMI.
So what's important in this sentence to understand, we will care about people, about you, about other professionals, how they can be better in what they do.
И что важно в этом, то что мы как PMI фокусируемся на индивидуалах, то есть на вас, на людях, которые профессионалы в своей профессии.
And we describe a project as making idea a reality. So it could also be a change or something else which is making an idea, a future possible.
В этой постановке мы определяем проект как изменение, делание идеи реальностью.
And to give you an impression, the PMI board who decided on that is consisting out of 15 global volunteers.
И вот PMI, который выставил такое стремление, управляется Советом директоров, состоящим из 15 членов, 15 волонтеров.
And you see the countries represented on the board here. Still, there are a lot of US guys, but otherwise we are across the world. And I'm waiting for the first Russian to be on the board, actually.
Вы видите список стран, которые представлены на Австралия, Бразилия, Бельгия, Канада, Германия, и так далее. Много из Соединенных Штатов, но много из других стран. И там ждет, когда же наконец из России кто-то попадет в правление.
Has to be in my lifetime.
Надеюсь, что будет.
So start thinking about it. And this board of directors, 15 people, we are all volunteers. So we spend 40 to 60 days a year, unpaid work, for serving you and for making this organization really a great success.
Волонтеры работают бесплатно на PMI, 40 дней в году, чтобы реализовать эти стремления.
So there is a invest if you are volunteering. But why are we doing that?
Это наша инвестиция, но почему мы это делаем?
Because we get back from you the appreciation and we see, okay, what we are doing is a value.
То, что мы получаем от вас, ценности, пожелания, обратная связь и так далее.
I did make a joke. So I started volunteering in 1998 when I was asked to be the president of the Frankfurt chapter, and I said, oh no, that's too much work, And yes, I do it. Yeah? That's how you come to any job, isn't it? You are asked, you don't want to do it, and then you have it.
Томас вспоминает член правления в Форумском отделении, после этого стал уже главным PMI.
So my request to you is think about volunteering, and many of you are here because you're interested. So volunteering is something that helps you develop not only something for the world, but it's also developing yourself internally. So what I learned from it is also how to manage a team of volunteers.
И вот это способ, как сделать что-то полезное и для мира, и для себя, и сделать какие-то изменения с помощью сообщества волонтеров.
Because you cannot push volunteers, you know, you have to nurture them, you have to convince them, you have to like them, you have to love them, you have to caress them. Otherwise, they will not do the work.
Это особенная работа, потому что вы не можете заставить волонтера что-то делать, вы можете его вдохновлять, поощрять, разговаривать с ним, мотивировать его.
That was my major learning, and I really enjoyed that. Coming back to PMI, so digital PMI, we not only changed as a board this one sentence, but we also approved a new strategic plan, which you can download from the website.
Очень рад этому, и он говорит, что PMI изменяет не просто этой постановкой цели, но делаем много конкретных изменений в стратегии.
And coming back to the theme of this conference, you know, PMI will become digital. And what we think about becoming digital is we will become agile, we will become focused on what we do, we will not spread too much our resources, but we will strive for success, and we will become more customer-centric, centric for the professionals.
И как вы видите из этой конференции, PMI становится более цифровым, он фокусируется на agile, фокусируется на конкретных поставленных целях перед собой, и также одной из целей ставит клиентоориентированность.
And as we're working on that, you know, you can download the strategic plan and you can see things develop. It is not the thing that is done in 3 months. It will take years to go there, but this is the direction we gave, and the whole organization is going to that.
Вы можете скачать и прочитать этот стратегический план, он был сделан не очень быстро, его долго разрабатывали, чтобы принести больше ценности.
And here's my congratulations again, you know, and I'm really happy to be here and wish you all the best for the next 50 years.
И Томас, очень
Thank you.
рад снова здесь, поздравляю нас всех.
Still, I want to leave you with some private thoughts about digitization. So, you know, I'm a project management. I started my first project, working in my first project in 1974, so it's now 44 years. And I helped, just 2 years ago, I helped the client to set up a huge digitization program for his organization with 100 million euro budget for over 5 years. So my thinking, and maybe it will guide you a little bit through the rest of the day, is 4 corners of digitization which have to be looked at. First, the world becomes networked. Everything is connected. And on the connection there is data flowing. And you know, Internet of Things and globalization makes digitization really ubiquitous. It's everywhere.
Digitalizacija состоит, по его мнению, обычно из 4 углов. Первый угол это сети, это большие данные, интернет вещей, глобализация.
Yesterday I was at dinner with a friend, a Russian friend, and he was very proud to show me he has a new warm water boiler in his house. And we were in the taxi and he had an app and he looked at it, what's the temperature in my house? He could look it up with the new water boiler. It's digitized.
Вчера он был со своим другом, разговаривал, у того дома установлен цифровой бойлер для обогрева воды, у него на телефоне там есть способ управления им. Это вот диджитализация.
It's, maybe the use of that is not so big, but if you think that everything is somehow connected, you know, the use will be much better. Because if you have all this data and you can look at this, you can make some sense out of it, get some information, get some insights.
Может быть, это пример маленький, но когда вы обратите внимание на глобальные все вещи, что этих устройств очень много, они между собой соединены, наконец возникает второй вопрос, это понимание сущности всех этих большого количества данных и их использования.
And what is also happening since years, but it's now speeding up, is that we see much more automation and robotics, and you have all these logistic change in warehouses and everything, and factories. You know, get more and more automated.
То, что происходит в это время, в наше время, это автоматизация, роботы появляются везде, и общий сдвиг в работников функционального труда.
So you need less people who are working with the hands and shifting the boxes around the warehouse will be done by robots. So you need more knowledge workers who would design that and who can program that and to make it happen.
Все меньше и меньше людей работают руками, больше управляют роботами, поэтому нужно больше людей, больше специалистов.
So shift to knowledge work. And the right thing is it's all customer-centric, and you heard what we are doing with PMI, customer centricity. Actually, if you want to look it up, PMI is following a book and a theory which is called Sense and Respond, which means how to become an agile organization by sensing what the customer needs and responding immediately.
Вот справа в углу есть следующий фокус, это фокусированность на клиентах. И PMI выпустил книгу, которая называется Sense and Response, то есть чувство и ответственность, как это переводится.
And to give you an example, with IBM 5 years ago already, we worked with a Indian telecom company, and they had an app, you know, you walk down the street and the Starbucks next door sends you an app. If you now come cross the street and come over to us, you get a 10% discount on your coffee.
Например, приводит, что вы можете идти по улице, и Starbucks будет рядом с вами находиться, и проходя 10 метров, вы получите сообщение на телефон, зайди и получите скидку на кофе.
Very much to the individual, you know. The telephone provider knows you are there. He knows the Starbucks would give you 10% discount, and it's only for you.
Это очень индивидуальное приложение, именно телефон знает, что вы здесь проходите, для вас специально Starbucks делает это конкретное приложение.
And it's everywhere, and I don't go into detail with that, but you could look at every area in society, and you will see there's digitization going on. Maybe just one example, you see Society 5.0, this is a new program by the Japanese government. They want to change their whole society, not only economy or government, to become a connected society. Feedback on what I think, what is your role in this environment? You know, we have the human capital, the people around who are working, and we will move much more into the knowledge working space. Experts, engineers, people who know, who think about, are creative and creating new things. And how you're doing that by establishing universities and education programs, giving them skills to do that, to think about. And the role of the project manager is now to bring them together, to integrate them into teams, to make really ideas a reality. And this is done by influencing their behaviors and bringing them together in a leadership style. This is the role of a project manager as a leader. So if you want to digitize, you have to change behaviors, you have to change skills, and you have to be very clear about what you do. So that's your chance. So I hope I could give you some ideas, what I think, what PMI thinks, and I wish you a very interesting day for the rest of the day. Thank you very much.